Well, I can remember the exact moment that I had the idea. I was running to work because that was one of the things I'd started running again to help me get through the period after the miscarriages. And I was running up the hill towards an iconic building on our university campus where I work. And I thought, oh, I could now I'm running again. I could do something to raise money for the Miscarriage Association, and that's quite fun. I could do it with the music that I've been enjoying listening to, and that playlist, he keeps adding songs to it each week, so there could be a sort of how long is the run going to be element, adding a bit of mystery, and maybe I could get other people to do it to the music that they like listening to. So yeah, it's funny to think back of what it then became, because it was literally a little idea in my head.
Hey everybody, Charles Eston here. What prompted me to be part of Strut Your Songs? Well, my friend Vicky and her wonderful family. I heard her story and what she intended to do, and it just so happened that I was in town and got to be part of the very first event.
What prompted me to get involved in Strut Your Songs was when I met Vicky and then later on Matthew, and their ability to turn their own heartache into something good was a no-brainer for me. I wanted to be involved.
Back in 2015, you miscarried after our daughter was born, and we went through a really rough time. I suffered from helplessness in trying to help you get through it. I think you suffered a great deal at that point. You only really started to feel better when you spoke to one of your work colleagues, Vicky, and then she helped you through it, having been through it herself. So it didn't really matter that we decided to take part that way. It was more like I felt I had to take part in a way, because Vicky really helped you and we just needed to take part.
And it's turned into something epic. I mean, I know epic sounds like an odd word to use, but there is something extraordinary about how your experiences and all the grief and the loss and the sadness and the bleakness and the blackness that went along with that somehow became transformed, and you transformed it. And I don't mean that it was lost, because that's always going to be part of you somewhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you made it into something inspirational. And I know that other people have used that word, and there's a reason for it, because it is. Because it goes from darkness to light. And there's very little light to be found in the experience of miscarriage or other kinds of pregnancy or baby loss.
What it means to me is absolutely everything. If you can do good for other people, do it.
It means you've taken something dark and hard, unspeakably difficult, and you pour your heart into it, like Vicky and her family have, to make something beautiful of it.
That sense of raising money and raising awareness of the Miscarriage Association. As you say, when I started taking part in Strut Your Songs and I put it on social media that I was taking part, the number of people that donated money or commented on my tweets and Facebook posts that they too had suffered a miscarriage, friends that I didn't even realise had been through the same thing. It was just clear how little the subject is spoken about and how little support there is out there.
Yeah, it's the same for me. It was sort of a surprise how many people you've heard of who've been through it. It just, everybody seems to at least know somebody, or certainly you've had a couple of work colleagues. I've had work colleagues who've also been through it. So it is that whole raising that awareness and getting people involved and making sure there is the support network for people who go through it.
One of the words that gets used about it is community, and that's something that has been a source of huge joy to me, is this worldwide community that has come together each year to do something actually very joyful about a hard and difficult life experience.
You've raised an enormous amount of money for the Miscarriage Association. We calculated it was over £35,000 over the 5 years that it's been running, as it were, so far. but it's also raised awareness, and it's also, I think, raised people's awareness, not just of, you know, the numbers of people who have miscarriages, but some of the feelings that people have. It's made them, I think, more understanding, more sensitive.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people who've taken part in Strut Your Songs who don't have personal experience of miscarriage, and certainly when they've been fundraising and then people have said, well, I'm supporting you because I think it's a brilliant thing, because actually it happened to me too.
You've touched on the amount of money that we've raised, which is obviously is fundamental, isn't it? And it's so important to raise that money to help the Miscarriage Association, the absolutely brilliant work that you and your team do. But the awareness is really important to me as well as part of the campaign. And I always say each year, it doesn't matter how much we raise, as long as we raise something. We just happen to have been very lucky in raising quite a lot of money so far. But I just want one person, even if they can get a bit of comfort from what we're doing through this, then it's worthwhile.
It's the core of it, really, is making a difference to others. That's such a special legacy for the little ones you lost.
So describe Strut Your Songs in one word.
Well, I'm going to say the word community. We've met some good friends out of it. So the word community is everybody in the same place, everybody helping each other out. So certainly in that case. What would you say?
And I'd say inspirational. It's just amazing and inspirational how much money and awareness we've raised.
Yeah, I generally sometimes can't believe the figures that we get sent from Vicky on that regard of how much money has actually been raised from something that started off as a very small idea and
It's grown.
has grown massively.
One word to describe Strut Your Songs is inspiring.
That would be my one word to describe Strut Your Songs. It's beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Don't stop strutting.
Keep on strutting.